Hello everyone. It's James again with another video, a video I hope you take the time to really think about its message. And then make the proper positive changes in your life, the changes that will help break the cycle. What cycle am I referring to? It's the cycle of broken homes, torn relationships, and children growing up in a toxic way, which only will lead them into a dysfunctional life existence. So what's the answer, you might be wondering? The truth is, the answer is so simple people refuse to look at it or believe it when confronted by it, because they are so addicted to the way they currently do things. Putting the solution into action would make most people break down into a puddle of nothingness. The simple and easy answer to this problem is, stop living like everyone else. And realize the way most people live leads to a toxic ending. But hey, all of the movie stars and TV reality stars have messed up families and relationships. So you must be right on track. You people are so lost and are losing your families and children in the process. Why don't you get back to basics and look at what is going wrong in how children are brought up and start to correct it in your own homes? Maybe a caring parent should be at the home taking care of a child while one parent goes to work to support the home, instead of putting your kid into a daycare with 30 other kids and adults you don't know. Start being the one as the parent to instill life core values in your kids instead of the television and someone at the daycare. Learn that you can't have it all. That maybe living in a smaller home so you can have more of a quality upbringing for your child is more important. Realize that anyone that attacks you or puts you down for this way of thinking and raising your kids truly hates that family unit and doesn't want you to have a successful one. You see, that's the problem right there. So many people are scared to break free and stop living how their next door neighbor is living or how the person that works in the next cubicle is living, because they will criticize you into submission. They will make you walk away from the path of right and good to a path of destruction of you and your family. And you will walk this road because you are scared to go on the more narrow, lonely road because you want the fake love of your toxic peers so badly. And many don't want to even admit their peers are toxic, because they just want to be accepted, even if that acceptance is as fake as a $3 bill. And they don't realize that the narrow, lonely road really is not lonely at all. It's a road or a path that is rich in real, genuine love, love from very few, instead of fakeness from the many. And the many have traps ready to snare you up in them, and they enjoy just watching you fall and walk into these traps of your own choosing. There are temptations around every corner, and we need to drop the falsehood. It's all about trust. It's about we are all flawed and human, and we are not above doing wrong. So in order to protect ourselves from doing this wrong that can cause ruin in our families, we must walk a different path than others may walk. That means putting our families as priorities, not taking the advice from the woman in the cubicle next to you asking you to go against your husband and your families. Take a look everywhere you go. There are nothing but advertisements, TV shows, and radio programming aimed at putting a wedge between a man and his woman, which by default destroys the ability for a child to be raised with love and goodness. No one wants to call out the big elephant in the middle of the room, because everyone is afraid they will get blamed, shamed and name-called. So they just go along to get along, all the while ruining their lives and the lives of their children. They want women to rebel against their husbands, and they want men to be destroyed in the process, because they know when a man and a woman cannot give love to their children effectively, the child will grow up detached, conscienceless, broken, and less than human, and willing to repeat the cycle with the next generation. But James, I can go and do what I want. Or James, I trust my wife. Because isn't it all about trust? You, my friend, have been hoodwinked into a lie. Because that is like saying, my wife is above sin and can never sin or be tempted to do wrong because she is perfect. Do you know how utterly ridiculous this sounds when you say it out loud in that context? Because trust is a good thing, but trusting someone that enjoys putting themselves in harm's way of temptation is, for a lack of a better term, the dumbest thing a person can do. But we are a society that loves to be in denial. Let me ask you this. Would you put $1 million in an open briefcase on your front porch for a week and trust it will still be there? I thought not. So why do we trust our wives half naked in a nightclub with their so-called best friend watching out for their welfare? All the while strange men trying their best to pick them up. You don't think for a second that your wife is a human being and might be tempted though regretful later to do you and your family wrong. But wait. When the other men will see her wedding ring they won't dare talk to her out of respect, right? Well, if you believe that, then you believe the $1 million would still be on your front lawn. Men and women, stop entrusting your precious families that's worth more than any suitcase full of money to strangers. These people want to see nothing more than your family to be destroyed. These people giggle and laugh inside as they set up temptation after temptation in front of you, and enjoy to watch you step into these traps and give up your life, just to be a part of a social group of backstabbers that won't be there for you when you are old and gray, and your children are broken wrecks. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 16 points this out very clearly. For they cannot sleep unless they do evil, and they are robbed of sleep unless they make someone stumble. I will repeat it again. For they cannot sleep unless they do evil, and they are robbed of sleep unless they make someone stumble. What is the lady in the next cubicle intentions for your wife when she asks her to do things that are against her husband? For they cannot sleep unless they do evil, and they are robbed of sleep unless they make someone stumble. What are the intentions of those telling you that you can have it all? And the way of doing that is having strangers raise your kids and to rebel against your husband. For they cannot sleep unless they do evil, and they are robbed of sleep unless they make someone stumble. Man, what about those that make TV shows teaching you that being emasculated is part of normalcy in today's society, and that you should just go along with it? For they cannot sleep unless they do evil, and they are robbed of sleep unless they make someone stumble. There is at least one person every day that you will encounter that will try to make this happen for you in your life. None of us are exempt, no matter how much denial one might be in, because the end goal for these people is to watch you and your family fail miserably, and yes, stumble.